I felt like Smile took all of the best things about live performance, live theater, and whittles away the flash and the fourth wall, and really brings that magic and that specialness to a group of people who really identify with it on a native level, in my opinion, in terms of like those generations and, perhaps their parents as well, were sort of the original audiences of the American musical theater and supporting, live theater here and, wherever they may have been from. And so they grew up with that as like some of their pop music, as their pop culture, as their celebrity, as their Kardashian, and so being able to connect with, like Loretta said, being able to connect with that specific group of people in that way it is why I love Smile so much. And that Smile is very sincere in its programming. I've found in my experience, in that, the shows are crafted so wonderfully and so specifically and, rehearsed and built with such integrity, and Loretta, I also did another piece with Smile, a take on Romeo and Juliet with Joni Mitchell music. So I had more than one experience, I guess, of like a full of a production in that way. And it was just so wonderful to see that both pieces are just received, like they're created with such sincerity and they're received with such sincerity, and the audiences feel comfortable enough, it seems, just to be very honest. In that one particular memory, in the end of Romeo and Juliet and Joni, there's obviously the death scene, and I remember stabbing myself one time, and someone in the audience, where's the blood? I thought there was going to be, there's no blood. Where's the blood? And it's like, I think also when you can't hear yourself talk, so you talk maybe a little louder than you would, thinking that you're being quiet. So like that very loud, hushed quiet. And it took everything not to just burst laughing, me and myself and I just absolutely having a time. And I just thought, and I thought in my head, God, I love this place. God, I love this place. Oh my goodness. And and additionally, I for myself personally, Smile, I'm from a family where my parents are on the younger end of their large families, sort of immigrant and like second generation kind of thing. And so the separation between children and elder, like, it's very old school. And so there wasn't as much of an environment of like that sort of personal connection in terms of like children and parents and grandparents and like elder uncles and aunties and stuff. And so by the time I was, a young adult woman, like much of my family had passed away, or it was just so like, it was hard to sort of bridge that connection with perhaps me having a curious and modern attitude, and that being interpreted by sort of the old school as like nosy. You're a chatty nosy one, aren't you? And so being at Smile was like this just wonderful kind of gift, that I had always yearned for, that connection with that particular community and that particular type group of people in that age range, and also their relatives and their families. And because we had a mix of people at the shows, where there would be families in attendance as well as our residents and guests. And so to be able to connect on that community family level in and around that sort of generational range was something that was just something I'd really like yearned for in my life, and Smile gave that to me.